What injustice do you see in the world that boils your inside, that makes you so upset, where you see a corruption in the marketplace, a corruption in the world, in an industry? Where do you feel like you just can't stand that thing? It could be, for example, maybe you don't like the healthcare industry, or maybe you don't like the corruptions in it, or maybe you don't like for me, the mental health crisis. I don't like that. Or one thing injustice I don't like is when the lower self is running in the unconscious and holding people back from fulfilling their potential, aka where I've seen the lower self in my unconscious holding me back from fulfilling my purpose and my potential. That boils my skin. And I get really frustrated and upset about it because it, we are here for a purpose. And the only way to fulfill our purpose is if we are stepping into the higher virtues of the higher self. And when the higher self is leading, then, we create awesome things, right? We are able to make a difference in our world. So 2025, this year, just feeling this is, how can we co-create a better world and a better future if those who are meant to step into that zone of their genius isn't? Or we're too bogged down because, let's get real here, there is inflation through the roof and people are bogged down with responsibilities. There's work, there's things on their mind, and the distraction is real. So 2025, there's a calling. There's, if you are feeling this, there's a strong calling. If you're not, that's also okay. This is the message, right? There is a strong calling for us to slow down and take a look at the direction that we're heading in as a humanity. Like, what's going on and where are we heading? And are we heading to a brighter, prosperous future, or are we heading in another direction? Because many of us may be asleep to this, but the current trajectory is definitely more dim than I would like to see. It's the only way to reroute us is if, and this is my belief, some may disagree, but I'm not here to contest anyone's beliefs. I honor your and respect your beliefs. My belief is that the only way out of our current trajectory as a humanity is if we change what we've been doing. And what we've been doing has been a major crisis of exclusion of the higher self. And this silent rebellion, where the creator higher intelligence, that superior intelligence, that higher intuition isn't leading our decision making, isn't in our lives, there's no connection to that or co-creation with the higher intelligence, then decision making is done from the ego intelligence. And this impacts our humanity in detrimental ways. We see leaders who are operating out of the lower vortex of the ego, in corruption and out of selfishness, greed, and harming our planet and harming our ecosystem, harming our future. We're all being impacted by this. And at some level, I thought, I don't have the power here to make a difference. But I realized that that was not true. It's not true. All of us have a duty and a responsibility once you're on this planet to care for it. We are all stewards of this beautiful planet. And we are somehow in this slumber of feeling powerless to co-create something new. At least that's what I was experiencing in me, that I just couldn't make a difference. You know how like Martin Luther King came in and make a difference, and he did not back down. He came in and saw an injustice and he stepped into his purpose and he was like, I'm going to speak out against this and he is going to co-create something different. And he so did that. And so this is the calling. So why aren't we, where is that gap? And what do we need to tap into to believe again in our own co-creative power to co-create a better future built upon the virtues of the higher self? And when I say that, it's because a lot that we see here happening that's harming our world, it's because we have leaders and people that are making big decisions for our collective and our world that isn't making decisions for the people and in alignment with the creator's will or in integrity. So there's a massive out of integrity issue, and it is impacting our economy. It's impacting everything we do. And you can see right now that many people that start their business or their mission get derailed. That's going to be another video when I talk about these big companies that I'm going to be talking about. Some of these leaders that are majorly influencing everything don't follow the creator's will, and they are following, instead of the higher self virtues in business and the way leading forward, is following the beast, the 666. The corruption is toxic and vile, and it is has a foul odor of selfishness and greed, and only cares about its own pocket. So we have a responsibility to see how can we be the change where we're creating and co-creating new businesses built upon purpose, built upon integrity, built upon the virtues of love and care for people, and not for selfishness or selfish gain, right? This is the time. So it's about, I felt today there has to be, I had to tap into a greater belief and a greater faith and belief and conviction that there is that we can be the vessels of our higher self's will and purpose, and whatever that is, it's great, it's amazing. No matter how small it is in the speck of things, it all adds up. When everyone steps into their purpose, everybody has a piece. It's equally valuable and important, just as it is a president. So when you know this purpose and you're here and you're like, I am not going to sit back and allow the injustice that's happening in our world to continue. We as a people have the power to co-create new options based upon our own connection to source. We can get that guidance. Hey, what's my piece? And once you stick to your lane and your piece, and you're doing your part. And when everybody chips in and everybody's doing their piece, one person may be doing technology and innovation there. One person may be doing agriculture and innovation there. Maybe more organic produce that is built and helps with better farming practices. Or it could be, because you can see how much toxic chemicals are in our food. All right, let's not even talk about baby food. All right. All right, how much corruption there is in the hospital and the healthcare industry, how much corruption there is in these different areas, right? Pharmaceuticals, all these different areas, right? How can each person, who feels a calling, it may not be any of those industries, it may be something else, but there is something that the higher self creator has for each one of us. So we can have better choices for businesses. So we can have better choices. So instead of you choosing a corrupt company that is monopolizing the place, you can choose another one that's focusing on social responsibility and care. So this conversation is about, for all of us, what's my part? What is my vision here? What is it that what do you want to make a difference in the world, and how do you want to impact this, how do you want to make a positive impact in our world based upon your soul purpose? And some of us may not feel like we even care enough at this point, because at one point I just didn't care, and I had to do shadow work on that, because I had so much on my plate. But this time I said, no, I want to do something different, because we are in need of transformations in our world. And I believe that when people who feel they want to create a vision in the world, they can. If we come together and we include the higher self, I believe that is the pivotal transformation that's needed, where decisions are made from the higher intelligence instead of the lower version. I got a visitor. Peace out. Thank you for watching. Namaste.